Hallo und herzlich willkommen bei NEXTLIVE TV zu einer neuen Folge von Around the World, an International Talkshow on the road to BOE. Mein Name ist Vanessa Püllmann und dieses spannende Thema haben wir heute für euch.
To really have a clear view of what is the state of the industry at this moment, talking about live communication and experience marketing, we of course have to go to the brands and the big multinationals. And one of the guests that can give us a clear view is Mirre van Tilburg. She's the head of events at Capgemini. Mirre, welcome. Welcome in our studio. Thank you for your time. We wanted to know, at Capgemini, you as a head of events, can you tell us a little bit prior to COVID, what was the role of live communication and experience marketing within your marketing and communication mix?
Well, hi, Sjoerd. Very nice to see you, and thanks for reaching out with these questions. Prior to COVID, of course, the events were very important, both in the marketing, but also in the internal communication for Capgemini in the Netherlands. And one of the good things you could do, of course, with these live events prior is really invite people into your home. That's how we like to do it at Capgemini, where we like to host a lot of the events in-house. There's a large office close to Utrecht, where we were very creative in setting up events. So that's, of course, the benefit. You can really get close to people in your own home. And make it personal and really make a connection in that way. Pay a lot of attention to all the details. And of course, that has all changed now.
Exactly, because then came COVID and you have a head of events, you must be scared of the period that you didn't know what's going to happen. But in the next months, you made some decisions, I think, to go online or hybrid. Can you tell us a little bit about how you could compensate that live communication power while being only online?
Yeah, absolutely. I think as for everyone, the beginning was crazy. And I personally quite liked it. It was exciting and challenging. We had no idea what we were doing. We understood that we had to go online, but no one knew how. So we very quickly managed to find that out and go online. We failed also, but after a while we kind of cracked how to do it, and we got very daring, and luckily there also was a lot of support from Capgemini to do that. So we very quickly went live for both internal connections, but also with a lot of webinars, and the webinars got bigger and more creative and better also. So that was the beginning for us. We got to a stage where we were quite comfortable with the online, and now really try to do new things as well.
So a very steep learning curve, I can imagine. And then comparing it to those live experiences that you did prior to COVID, can you give us an example of impact and effect that you created online with one of your events?
Yes, I think there are two. I mean, to clarify, I also use the global mobility opportunities, because I also shifted my role from being event manager for the Dutch market. I now work for the Capgemini University, where we have a global reach within the learning and development. So then talking about the Dutch market, we very quickly basically turned our conference rooms into television studios, where we hosted full television programs. So that was a very good way of inviting more people, because basically we did what we did the year prior, but now we managed to have 5-6 times the attendees online. So that's of course something that you wouldn't be able to do otherwise with a similar effort. And then taking that into my current role now for the Capgemini University, it's the same. We have created an audience that's global, that can reach up to all our 300,000 employees around the world. And that's something that we are not willing to let go. We learned how to do that, and that's definitely a benefit of everything that has happened.
And with the power you already had prior to COVID and these learnings and these effective moments you created online, can you give us a short glimpse into the short-term future? What is the planning? How is the agenda of Capgemini in terms of live communication experience marketing for the coming months?
Yes, I think that's going to be very challenging. Looking at what we've done last year for the Dutch entity, for example, we hosted a Christmas party where we were digitally together at the same time, but we also had a whole logistic operation that managed to deliver a 3-course meal to all employees and their families. And there was such a unique experience that I'm not sure how we are going to experience that if we are all live. So maybe those things will still be virtually or hybrid or how we want to call them. I think that's definitely a value that we will keep. While for other events that we are planning now, for example, for next year, despite all the uncertainties that are still there, ideally we will focus on keeping the large audience as it's very inclusive, which is of course a benefit. While focusing more on being together when you're actually together. So for those, I ideally would like to cut off the Wi-Fi and put people together in a room and create a different program. We see that already now. Like the people that are together, they will have more breaks. They have a different program. It's less sending. So I think that's we will use the right format for the right event.
So for the long term, there's like a new Capgemini event mix, online, hybrid and digital and live in person?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Mirre van Tilburg, thank you very much. Capgemini, all the best. And we hope to see the most beautiful events live, online, digital and in person with your flag and logo on it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sjoerd.
My next guest is Gerd de Bruycker from Cisco, and we're going to talk about the future of events in terms of live contact, because there's more than only live communication and experience marketing. And Gerd de Bruycker for me is a special person. He has a clear vision on the future of marketing and live communication. He is marketing director at Cisco, and for me it's an honor to speak to him because he's also the former president of the jury of the Best Event Awards World, so he really knows what he's talking about. Well, Gerd, I take the introduction on my part. I want to know, you being marketing director at Cisco, if you look at the mix between live, in person and digital, what is then the key if we talk about the experience, the customer experience?
Now, what I see, Sjoerd, or what I think about this specifically is that, okay, in the past, a lot of companies have a digital marketing team, let's say, and they do digital marketing, they do event marketing, they do customer experience marketing. But in the end, today, through the technology and all the innovation that is happening now, we are doing marketing in a digital world, more and more, let's say. And that's according to me, the key of everything we do. If we are coming together, let's say physically, there's always a digital component in the before phase, during the phase, and after phase. Technology is constantly helping us on that one. That's like I said in the beginning, that I added the digital marketing person to the team to make these connections on that one. And I think that this physical and digital world will become more and more blurred on that one. Look at what some of the world artists have done. They couldn't do concerts, but they have done concerts and brought in people through to screens, technology, to give them a completely different experience and all of that. And I think with AR, VR, XR that we are now seeing, green screen technology, XR actually goes even further. I think it will become more and more blurred and will converge in these worlds more and more. And that will come from customer experience. And today, in the past, if you needed to interact with the bank or you needed a loan for a bank, you had to go there, right? You had to discuss it and all of that. Today, everything is possible. It's not just over the phone, but it's already a video call on that. You don't need to go. And you have subject matter expertise in the banks instead of your local contact on that one. So that whole customer experience from before, during, and after sale, let's say, becomes so important on that one. And you will see that every moment that a potential customer is in contact with a company is a brand moment. Everything in every interaction, from an email to a contact center, how long you need to wait, what is an experience at an event, it comes way more together in that digital world. That's my opinion.
Okay, so it goes way beyond events and live communication. Is that a thing? Do we have to change the name of our industry probably from event industry to something like a live contact, for instance?
That is a possibility. I'm not saying it's the right thing or it's a wrong thing. It's about, we are both in this industry for a while. It already starts, okay, how do you define an event?
Yeah.
And then it becomes about semantics on that one. And in all honesty, okay, if you want to define it, you want to put a wrapper around it and say, okay, this is what we stand for. In the end, a customer doesn't really care about it. A customer has a problem, he wants to solve something, he wants to do it fast, and he wants to have a good solution and a good experience, whatever that kind of thing. And I think we all need to contribute to that and put the customer much more in the center of everything we do than just try to sell something and then, hey, thank you very much.
So to sum it up, every moment, live contact is a brand moment, then it's all about customer experience.
Yeah, for example, it's all about the customer and the user experience, end to end there.
Gerd de Bruycker, Cisco, Marketing Director, thank you very much. You've shown us that our world will even become bigger. Back to you, Vanessa, back to the studio.
Das war's für heute aus dem Studio One in der Messe Dortmund. Take care und bis hoffentlich bald.